Hey, welcome everybody. It is time for Bollocks, Talks, and Tangents. And Lenny and I are still over here writing like crazy and trying to get ready for the show. Hopefully you were tuned in to the morning show and the evening show.
And the afternoon show. Don't forget Davey.
Doing triple duty here. Well, I wasn't on the afternoon show, Blake. I don't know if you didn't realize that.
I understand, but hey, we still got to show love to Davey. He had to take the show solo.
Well, Blake, thank you for interrupting the entire thought that I had right then. This is why you get in trouble being a producer. I was going to say, you're probably tired of my face. This is the third show, is what my sentence was going to be. But, Blake, thank you for that with your MAGA hat. All right. No, thank you guys so much. We just have so much fun doing this. And I can tell you right now, this show is one of the shows I think Lenny and I, you can tell, I don't write down a whole lot of stuff. Lenny, I have more stuff written down than I've ever had before.
I got
you have your normal stuff, but
right.
I tell you, this show is so exciting, and we're talking about actors or actresses that turned down roles that went on to be just amazing movies, and sometimes you can't even picture the person that did that role being anyone else.
Not anymore.
You know, and that's the wildness of it. So, Lenny, I'm going to let you actually start off with our first sponsor there, because we're drinking something, and you made
delicious.
a drink that this is the best drink we've had in this studio.
Cheers, my brother.
I mean, it's sweet. It's not a lot of alcohol in it.
It's got flavor.
It's got amazing flavor. So, Lenny, tell them what we got.
Citygate Spirits down there on Sponsor Row across the Bayfront is a wonderful place. Great tour, great tastings, and they have a tremendous amount of flavored whiskeys. We talk about them all the time. My favorite being the peach, but they've got cola, they got moonshine. They've got pineapple whiskey. They've got pineapple moonshine, cookie dough. They got flavors, but my favorite is the peach by far. And today we're drinking sweet tea and peach whiskey.
I'm telling you,
and it's good.
I'm telling you right now, at a family reunion, my family wouldn't know that we snuck this in. Mm. And we would see Grandma snockered.
Just tell them it's peach, just peach iced tea.
Oh, she would be loving it. So no, it is great. Yeah. When he said he was going to do it, I was like, okay, I'm good with it. But this is excellent. So good call.
I'm a trained professional mixologist. Don't try this at home. Actually, try it at home. What the hell?
All right, Citygate, they're right there, and also their partner, St. Augustine Distillery. Talked to Will over there today. He's going to get us that new rum, and possibly come in and do a guest, and we might have to do, a history of different spirits.
Okay.
And
I did ghost tours, so I'm adept at that.
You're adept to that.
Different kind of spirits, I guess, but still, right?
All different types. Mm-hmm. But along also on Sponsor Row is Meehan's. Have you been to Meehan's lately?
Once or twice. I'm a regular customer.
Okay. So, Meehan's is 3 bars in one. I didn't turn my sound off. 3 bars in one right there on Sponsor Row on the Bayfront. Amazing food.
Great staff.
There's a chicken curry over there. You think, you don't really think of chicken curry as being in an Irish restaurant, but it's pretty common.
In England, and in Ireland, in the UK.
Yeah. So, but they have 3 bars in one. Amazing staff, amazing food.
Live music inside and out.
One of the best businessmen I know.
By far.
He gives back to the community in a good balance, and keeps his building, which is a very difficult building to keep up with. It has a lot of challenges to it in
it's an old space.
Great space, great shape. They take time off, and they really do it right. So thank you for being a part of our team with Meehan's. Another great group that's a part of our team and been with us since the very, very beginning is Aber Kresge and Associates. Appreciate what you do. It's the best CPAs in town. Blake, would you not agree this week?
I would definitely agree this week.
Yeah.
And all the time as well.
Did you get audited, Blake?
No, we do not say that word, Lenny.
I cannot believe you mentioned that on air. We need to talk about threads so that our algorithms don't get thrown out of whack.
Threads.
Okay. Did I just pox you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, man.
Yeah. It's bad words. There's certain bad words we don't say.
Okay.
Pass interference.
That and the guy from 1943 with the bad mustache. Never say those words.
Right. Oh no, that's fine.
All right, but Aber, they're the best CPAs in town. All right, St. Augustine Pirate Museum. They have over 800 original artifacts. Beautiful people over there. Great staff. If you have family coming into town and you don't take them there, you just cheated your family. Get them to the Pirate Museum.
I love taking people there.
It is amazing. All right, Kaiser's Deli and Market. Blake and I had lunch there today. And the new ciabatta.
Isn't that great?
Bread. Ooh.
Oh, and it toasts up brilliantly. It is such a good bread for those sandwiches.
Try the bollocks, half turkey and half pastrami.
Yep.
I did a little half and half sweet peppers and hot peppers.
Nice.
It was on point today.
And you know the hoagie rolls he used to use toasted up nice. The ciabattas toast up outstanding. They're excellent.
Yeah, without a doubt. And last but not least, Coquina Coast Realty. I have a lot of office space. I just got rid of my last residential apartment,
That's
so
good
I
for
don't have
somebody.
any of those available. So welcome to the group over there. But I do have a lot of office space at the Cigar Building and at the Treasury Building in different sizes. So there might be an office for you that you don't even know about and still get an amazing view in a historic building. So,
Nice.
904-669-7901. All right. I don't even know what your word of the word origin is today.
Well, we're
What is
talking
your
about
word
actors
origin?
and actresses.
Yes.
So my word origin is thespian.
Okay.
And
Your word origin?
origin.
Oh, okay.
Origin, yeah.
Did he say origin or Orion?
Orion.
What was that, Blake?
Orion.
Orion, yeah.
Well, my origin is an
I was like, the
origin
peach
of
is not that
Thespius.
strong. That peach is not that strong.
It's only 30%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 30%, 60 proof. Nothing to it. A little dab behind the ears.
Like having two beers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have 2 ears. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exactly.
Go
Go ahead with your word Orion.
Thespian.
Hey, do you know how to catch a polar bear?
I hear sweet peas are involved. It's the old Foraging Ice Hole, man.
Yeah.
What a great movie, Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah.
Oh, mama. Thespius was an actor, sort of the first actor known for being an actor in 1535 BC in Greece. We've all heard the term the Greek chorus.
Mm-hmm. We haven't all heard it, but we're gonna. I'm nodding.
Okay.
I'm nodding and
Okay.
agreeing like I have.
Okay.
Blake, are you nodding and agreeing like you have? Yeah.
Nodding.
Greek
nodding.
chorus was a bunch of people that would, stand there and basically support whatever was going on. Well, Thespis was a playwright and an actor, and he was the first person to step out of the Greek chorus and actually address the audience.
He broke the wall.
He did. And he was the first actor.
He's like Ryan Reynolds.
Ooh.
The fourth wall doesn't exist.
Deadpool, there you go. Apparently that was a problem for one of the people we're talking about here tonight. In the 17th century, people took the name of Thespis as, the person being the first actor and turned it into a generic for all actors and actresses. They were thespians.
Okay.
You have to say that carefully. Thespians. That's where the word comes, and it was started bandying about as a term for actors and actresses in the 17th century.
They drive Subarus, right?
Some of them, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some of them, yeah. They used to drive Saturns, but you can't find them anymore. So, so going to hell.
Back to I drug you with me.
Thank you. Well, look, I like the company. It's all right. I don't mind. So that's where that came from. And if you hear anybody talk about being a thespian, those are the nerds in high school that were in the drama club, which I was drama club adjacent because my high school and junior high school did a lot of musicals. And being the trombone player that I was in junior high school and high school, I played in the pit orchestra, and I really enjoyed that. And I got to tell you, for you burgeoning thespians out there, there's a lot to be said for the cast parties after these shows. Just leaving it out there.
Yeah. No, and yeah, they know how to party.
Yeah.
So and I can tell you, rock stars, party like a rock star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a true thing.
Yep.
That's a true
Well
statement.
earned. Oh sure.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
So,
So what do you got?
all right. So I have break a leg, and you think we might have done this before.
It's possible.
But I don't remember actually. Blake's saying we did. So the fact that
apropos for
you've
tonight,
said
so.
we've done it before.
I because I think I remember. I think it was during one of our shows together when Lenny was away. I think you did break a leg. Mm-hmm. So
If that's true, I want you guys to tell me what it is. What do you think it is? The term break a leg.
the term break a leg, like a little basically means good luck out there. Like the worst that can happen is like you break a leg.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your guess?
I'm with Blake on that. I know it to be something you say before somebody goes on stage when they're starting their performance, and you tell that to thespians, go break a leg.
Yeah,
and it's not a pox or a curse.
Here's where it comes from. Okay, and you think that's it. It's like, oh, it's bad luck. If you say good luck,
Right.
you have to say break a leg. Right. Well, break a leg actually came from Shakespeare. So in Shakespeare's opera, whatever you call his theater house, what was it called?
That was the Globe Theater.
The Globe Theater.
Right.
And they had wooden chairs.
Ah.
Okay? So
Now
they
I
have
remember.
wooden chairs. You did not clap in those days. You stomped your chair to make the noise, which made way more noise than clapping. You stomped your chair.
Clap, clap. Right.
If the crowd stomped their chair so hard that they loved the show, it would break the legs off the chair. So that means you had an amazing performance. And that's where it came from. It came from Shakespeare's Globe Theater. And, they said, go out and break a leg. That means they're going to break a chair leg.
Encouragement for great applause.
Because of the applause.
Okay.
So
that makes perfect logical sense.
Yeah. So I mean that is where it came from, and I don't remember that and saying that. But
actually, now that you said that, I do remember you saying it.
You do now.
I do, because it all comes back to me.
Crowd, if you're out there and you know I've said it before, you're more than welcome to tell me. So, all right, we have so many to talk about. I'm just glancing over.
Okay.
I have Kevin Costner. You have Kevin Costner.
Boy, what a goofy move that was.
Yes. So let's tell your Kevin Costner story, because here's how this is going to work, Lenny. We're gonna do an actor, and then we're gonna slide to a next role that might have been associated to that actor. That actor got the role, and see if we can keep it rolling.
Okay.
From person to person.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, Kevin Costner was up for the role of Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption, and he turned it down because he had a passion project, which let's just say it didn't hold water, and that was Waterworld. And man, oh man, that was just as bomby as bomb can be. That did not succeed
anywhere. And I didn't
anywhere.
hate the movie.
It was.
Did you see the movie?
I did, and it just didn't think it
was
well.
I didn't think it was as awful.
Well,
as what they said, it was a water Mad Max,
right? Exactly.
And he was a hybrid person, and I granted they could have done things better, but it was almost too much like Mad Max.
Yeah, except wet
to make it work.
Right. Instead of in the desert.
It was way too expensive.
So he turned down the role of Andy Dufresne, but Waterworld was his project too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean that was all him. Director, etc., and so forth. Mm-hmm. So that was Kevin Costner in Waterworld instead of Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption, which went to Tim Robbins.
Well, and he was coming off of one of his own projects also, which was Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, he was a big man at the time.
He did okay.
Yeah,
on
that didn't hurt him.
He did okay on that one.
But,
all right,
but wasn't Waterworld like one of the movies that Costner refused to ask?
All right, so when we interviewed Costner, when he was coming here to play for the, he came on a Zoom call with us. Great interview. We had a great time. We had a rough connection with him, but still it was an amazing interview. Probably one of our biggest shows we've ever had on the network.
I'm sure.
And I think it had the most views we ever had on the network with Kevin. And he was just a gentleman about it. He was picking on my friend Judd, who's a close friend of mine. And the one thing they said before the interview is, no Waterworld questions. That's the only question.
Okay.
Because Judd told him we're kind of a
Smart ass
shock,
group. Right.
shock jock almost type
Right.
of thing. I wouldn't call us even that, but
Nah.
I mean we're the type that'll go to that little
Right.
nudge.
We'll push the boundaries.
We'll nudge you.
Right.
We're nudgers.
Right.
It doesn't make us nudgers. But I mean, he was just so kind. But that was the only thing he said. No Waterworld questions.
Still
yeah.
hurts just a little bit, Kevin, doesn't
Well,
it? Sorry, man.
And what was I tell you, and I'm picking on Mike because me and Pete picked on Mike about this one. When we had our show Uncommon Ground, our radio show, and we were doing great. We had great response. Him and I, and we had Herman Cain's people on.
Okay.
Herman Cain hadn't announced if
Herman Cain was a candidate for president.
he hadn't announced yet. He was starting to pick up momentum. The one thing they said is, hey, don't bring up him running for president. We haven't announced yet. We can't talk about it. First question, Mike Davis / Lewis asked is, so are we going to get that big announcement for when you're going to announce for president? First question. Boop.
Yeah.
Hung up on us. Hung up on us. We have zero content except for me and Pete picking on Mike for going there right away.
Way to be the tough investigative journalist,
Yeah.
Mike. I'm on board
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You go for the gold.
Yeah, well, it was a great guest for our show, and like we literally had an hour worth of fill at that point because Mike asked that, and I mean I'm talking within a minute of the interview. So, all right. So we talked about Kevin Costner over there, and him turning down Shawshank because of Waterworld.
Right.
All right. So I'm gonna transition.
Okay.
Who do you think was asked Bull Durham before Kevin Costner?
Oh, that one I don't have. I don't know.
All right. Kurt Russell.
I can see him.
He was a baseball.
He was a ball player.
He was a ball
Right,
player.
He was actually a ball player.
And Costner was a ball player.
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell, world's strongest boy.
Right.
And many other things. He was actually, but I can't imagine anyone else playing Bull Durham.
Not now. A lot of these things. That's what you said.
Except for Costner.
They've done so well. They become so identified with these roles that it's hard to think of anybody else in it. And some of these people that were offered these roles, some made sense. Some you just can't quite see them in the roles.
All right. Do you have any? You don't have any Kurt Russell over there, right?
I have no Kurt Russell.
So we have no connection to Kurt Russell. So we're going to go back to Shawshank.
Okay.
You know who else was offered the role as Andy Dufresne after Costner turned it down? Tim Robbins was third.
Okay. Probably Tom Hanks.
You are correct. Good job.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks was offered that
And I
role.
could see him doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him in that
Yeah.
role.
I
No disrespect to Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
Now, in full disclosure, I'm almost slightly embarrassed to say, I watched Shawshank Redemption for the first time, 6 months ago.
Really?
Yep.
What a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Loved
still
it.
never
loved
seen
it.
it.
So, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a
Oh.
great movie.
I'm on board. Go see it. Yeah.
It's a great.
Took me a long time.
It's a
but
great
man,
movie.
Yep.
Yeah. His posters are great. But I've seen it like 10 times
Yep.
probably.
Yep.
So, but other movies that Tom Hanks.
Well.
Okay, and here's another connection. Okay, the Tom Hanks connection going back to Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Kevin Costner got the role. Tom Hanks was offered the role. Take a guess.
Kevin Costner got the role. Tom Hanks was offered the role. We talked about Bull Durham, so that's not it. The Untouchables.
No, stick with baseball.
Oh, okay.
You got it out there.
Field of Dreams.
Field of
Field
Dreams.
of Dreams. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams.
Yep.
So he was offered that role.
And having seen A League of Their Own, I see him much more as a crotchety manager as opposed to the wistful, abandoned son. Mm-hmm. Tom Hanks is, I mean, Tom Hanks can play anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
No,
there's
there
nothing
really
that
is
man
nothing.
that man can't play, or anybody he can't play.
Okay.
But he was great as the manager in Field of Dreams. I'm sorry, in A League of Their Own. But Kevin Costner was that was a great movie as well.
Oh, it was incredible. Yep. All right. Let's go with the Tom Hanks thing and go with the transition. A
Okay.
role Tom Hanks got
Forrest Gump.
that someone else. With you didn't let me.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Blake Blevins. Are you in there? So
Got you, baby. I got you. You know that. Go
let
ahead.
me finish the sentence.
Thank
Well, we
you,
don't
Lenny.
need to carry on. All right.
We only have an hour.
That's exactly right. We gotta come on, pick it up.
we're
Pick it up. We got a lot of stuff.
We're
here.
trying to connect everything
Okay.
together.
All right.
We're
Well,
trying to make the. This is how
okay.
the show flows.
Oh, it flows. That's good to know.
Well, you got it. Go ahead, Lynn.
All right. Well, I don't even remember where we were anymore. So, Tom Hanks.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
You took
And
us to Forrest
and there were
Gump.
a couple of it. Well, yeah. Vinnie Barbarino
Yeah.
was offered the role. John Travolta. And he turned it down to do Pulp Fiction.
Still a
And
great movie.
Absolutely. But in retrospect, he said that was a big mistake. A lot of these people have fessed up to the fact that the roles they turned down, they realized were big mistakes. I've got that quote from about 3 or 4 different actors or actresses that they realized they made a mistake in not taking those roles. But yeah, John Travolta was there. But now you have a John Travolta connection, don't you?
I have several John Travolta to me, and his roles he turned down. And some of these I can't imagine anyone else playing these roles. And we talked about Forrest Gump. I can't imagine anyone else but Tom Hanks being
Right,
that.
right.
All right. There was another Tom Hanks movie that Tom Hanks got the role, and John Travolta did not, and that was The Green Mile.
Okay.
So he was the guard, the lead guard in the prison. Tom Hanks played that role. John Travolta was offered that role. These are the ones, and we're going to go off with Travolta,
Okay.
and then we'll go to somebody else. Listen to this list: Travis Bickle, all right, taxi driver.
Taxi driver, yep.
All right, this one kind of blew the next two blew my mind. All right, Rambo.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody but Stallone playing Rambo.
Yeah.
All right, and this next one, I can't stand this. My least favorite actor in the world,
We know
but
who
I
that is.
can't imagine anyone else playing this role, and that's Maverick in Top Gun.
Yep.
I just can't imagine. But Travolta was offered all those. That is 5 great movies.
And you know, as we're talking about this, you realize that there are so many thespians out there, so many people who are actors and actresses, yet the Hollywood casting directors come back to the same small group of celebrities and stars for their movies. Because I guess, you know, it's star power. It really is. You know, but some of them don't make sense. But I'll connect your Tom Cruisey boy to John Travolta because, you know what movie he turned down?
That Travolta did.
No, not that Travolta did, but I'm just going back to
Oh, what
Tom
movie
Cruise.
he turned down?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Edward
turned down-
Scissorhands.
He turned down Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Because Tom Cruise wanted to, and it's, you know, he's a goofy guy, but it almost kind of makes sense. He wanted a happy ending for Edward Scissorhand, and Tim Burton said no.
He's like, have you ever seen any of my movies?
Right, no. So he didn't take that role, and it went to Johnny Depp.
And that was like a boost for Johnny Depp.
Right.
I mean, someone else was offered Edward Scissorhands too. I can't. Was it Jim Carrey at the time? It might have been Jim Carrey.
Okay, that would be awkward.
I think it was Jim Carrey at the time, where Jim Carrey was trying to make his transition into his acting
from his
from In Living
Fire Marshal
Color,
Bill,
yeah,
right.
Fire Marshal Bill days.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great in the Truman Show. I felt like the Truman Show was a very underrated movie. I think it won a Golden Globe, but it was snubbed at the Academy Awards.
I also think Michael Jackson was also was offered the role of Edward Scissorhands as well.
I could see
wow.
that.
Yeah.
Was Jim Carrey in Ed as well? A movie called Ed, which I think was similar to the Truman Show.
Oh, I don't know.
If not, it was because I think Ed was again one of these things where the Truman Show was where he was in a bubble and everything was scripted and fake, and he didn't know that. Because if not, that might have been Ed.
No.
Truman Show, he was in a bubble.
Yeah. The movie Ed, the one that pulls up if you Google it, is the movie where Matt LeBlanc plays baseball with a chimpanzee.
Nah, different movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Possibly, but
Truman,
okay.
Truman Show, he was in a bubble,
Right,
and
and he didn't-
from
right.
birth and everything, and it
Yeah.
was, You know, it was the #1 rated show, but he was the only one.
It was a reality show that
he was the only one.
reality.
He was the only one who didn't know it.
Right. Yep. Okay. What now? I can tie Johnny Depp from Edward Scissorhands, and you're gonna love this one. He turned down Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh.
Can you imagine Johnny Depp as Ferris Bueller?
Well, and there was a couple people that said that they were offered that, but the writer said no, he wrote it specifically for Broderick.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting because in looking at these things and pursuing this train of thought that we're on, it was interesting because some of them just turned it down. Some of them had explanations for why they did what they did, and then recrimination in the fact that they turned down roles that they shouldn't have. But there was a lot of these people had thought processes of why they wouldn't take roles. They actually thought through some of these things.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of these people will talk about they didn't understand the script. They didn't like the subject matter. A couple of things were too violent. We'll talk about that and some of the female actresses.
I think the one that I thought was not hilarious, but I thought it was like, oh, wow, what horrible timing, was Matt Damon. And Matt Damon had to turn down Avatar. All right. Cameron really, really wanted Matt Damon. He offered him 10% of the back end of Avatar. All right. Avatar sold $3 billion. That would have been $300 million for Matt Damon. It had a sequel that sold $2.5 billion. All right. Because Damon was tied up in one of the Born Identity, Born whatever movies. It was one of the. It wasn't even the first one. It was like a remake, so he had to do it.
Right.
He had to turn it down. He missed out on $500
He could have bought
million dollars.
He could have bought Dunkin' Donuts.
And his regret wasn't the money. He said, "James Cameron doesn't work that much, and I would have loved to have worked with James Cameron."
Okay.
Which is true. I mean, Cameron doesn't work a whole lot.
Right.
And Damon's wasn't regret. I mean, you know, these guys have enough money; they're going to be okay. No one on our list that we go, oh, I hope they make it.
Yeah, right, exactly. None of these people have suffered. Their careers have not suffered. But I'll tie up your James Cameron now.
Okay.
Do you know who turned down the part of Rose that went to Kate Winslet?
I think I read it today, but I didn't.
It's very goopy.
I didn't go.
Very goopy.
Who was it?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
She would have been too tall for DiCaprio.
Well, she turned down. She said the film was too sentimental, and she had project conflicts. So, but it was too sentimental for her.
Too sentimental.
Too sentimental.
Yeah, I think you did okay on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so
Kate Winslet.
Yeah. Here's one of my favorite movies. One of my favorite movies out there is Gangs of New York.
Okay.
Okay, and DiCaprio took me there.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
All right. The best character in that movie. You saw the movie, right?
Bill the Butcher.
Bill the Butcher.
Yeah.
All right. And I can see this one. This one's one I can see.
Okay.
All right. Daniel Day crushed it.
Yeah.
He absolutely. I mean, I think he won a.
Well, he is the Methodist of the method actors.
I think he won a supporting actor award. If he didn't, he should have. I mean, Blake, have you seen Gangs in New York?
No.
Gosh, we gotta get you more culture.
Got to take you to the movies, boy.
Gangs in New York. Who? Do you have any idea who was
played Bill the Butcher?
Yeah, Bill the Butcher. This one I can see. There's some on these lists. Well, come on, that's a stretch. But Robert De Niro.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see that.
You don't see De Niro playing. You don't see De Niro with the association with Travis Bickle and some of those somewhat psychotic moments he has with that. He played a murderer.
Maybe the physicality of Bill the Butcher and Daniel Day-Lewis is it. And Daniel Day-Lewis is just such a method actor that he inhabits these roles. He becomes these people.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I get it.
Stay alive, I will find you. You know, I mean, he's just that man is just beyond gifted.
Yeah.
I think he retired. I think he said I'm done.
Okay, on the De Niro role.
Okay.
Do you have De Niro over there at all?
I don't have him anywhere, I don't believe.
Oh, wow.
I got Nicholson and Pacino. I got his contemporaries.
Okay. So we're going to do that connection with Nicholson. Tom Hanks' connection with De Niro is big.
Right.
he was offered big before Tom Hanks. Can't imagine that.
No,
he was
no.
probably already too old at that time.
Right.
All right,
And that's
our
what-
our Nicholson connection comes in twice.
Okay.
Okay, which De Niro and Nicholson, I can see them
Right.
crossing over quite a bit.
They're contemporaries
All right?
for sure.
All right, Shining and Departed.
Okay. And I could see De Niro in both of them.
So, but those are De Niro roles that either he was busy or he didn't get it.
Okay.
Shining, he just didn't want it. He's like, I'm not really there. It's not. I'm not that. So he just kind of passed on. Departed, I think he was busy. I think he was doing Fockers or something like that. He was doing a comedy and
Go figure.
Yeah,
Analyze this, analyze that.
yeah.
Hi,
It
Billy-
might have been analyze
Hi, Billy
this. Yeah,
Crystal, how are you?
yeah. It might have been analyze this,
pal.
analyze that.
Yeah, well, then we can go from...
Oh, Billy Crystal, when Harry Met Sally, it was offered to Tom Hanks. But
Everything's been offered to
Yeah,
Tom Hanks.
yeah.
Come on. It's the first call you make.
all right, so
But we can go back to Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson.
Right? Because you and I both talked about how the fact that he was offered the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
First, he thought he was too old for the role. And then this is interesting because, like I said, some of these people put some serious thought into turning down these roles or parsing these roles. Either they didn't understand the script, they didn't like the subject matter, they weren't a fan of the basic part of the movie. But he said that, and he starts going at, I think that Indians should be playing Indians, and I'm thinking he's talking
Yes.
Native Americans, and Italians should play Italians, and he didn't think he should play the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that he was a little too old at the time for that too makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, we're talking 72, 73.
Okay, well, he's
wasn't-
107 now, isn't
Yeah,
he?
well, I think he's 84.
Okay,
So
all right.
he wasn't that old.
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
But Michael Corleone was very young, and so was
Yeah.
Diane Keaton.
All right.
Yeah, she was younger. She was pretty young at the time there too.
What's the only
Cake.
character that has won Academy Awards by two different actors?
I'm gonna go with is it Don Corleone?
It's Don Corleone, Vito
Yeah.
Corleone. Yeah, Don. It was Vito first.
Well, yeah.
Actually, it was Vito second
Right.
because he wasn't Vito until the Godfather 2.
Right.
So, but Vito Corleone is the only characters that two separate actors have won Academy Awards for that character.
Marlon Brando
Yeah,
and Bobby.
yeah. He was the young. He was Vito.
Right. In the early. Yeah. Okay.
He was the young, and Godfather 2.
Right.
He was the young Vito Corleone.
Okay.
So
Makes sense. And it's a good thing.
yeah.
And, there was, and I don't know who it was, but in looking around, they'd offered the role to somebody other than Marlon Brando, and I don't know if Brando fought for the role or wanted the role, but there was some machination that Brando wasn't necessarily the first choice for playing the Godfather.
So all right, Godfather. So that takes us to Pacino, and then we're going to talk about our
Sponsors.
our sponsors. All right. So
There's a goofy one too. Yeah.
yeah, Al Pacino.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have on Pacino?
Well, he was offered the role of Han Solo.
Yeah, that's where I wanted you to go.
He didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Which, we talked about this afternoon when I was talking to people that were going. He didn't understand the plot, and it made too complicated a plot for him to play the part. And other actors thought the same thing. And in thinking about it, don't forget that the original Star Wars was the 4th episode in a 9-part series that you came into the middle of. So I could see where there was some confusion, but he just didn't understand the plot. He didn't understand the story. He wasn't into the whole thing, so he turned it down.
Well, he didn't understand the special effects that would come along
Right.
with it. He felt like, and at that time, sci-fi was hokey.
Yeah,
There wasn't really quality sci-fi. Right. And here he is. He's coming off of Godfather. Is Serpico out yet? I don't think Serpico's out yet. And Blake, check what year Serpico came out. But he's coming off of 2 Academy Awards, and he didn't want to play this hokey sci-fi.
1973.
Huh?
1973 was when
Serpico came out?
Yep.
Yeah, so that was well before. So
the other actor who was offered Han Solo, Burt Reynolds.
Oh.
And he realized in retrospect that was a big mistake turning down that role.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
mistake.
he was the hottest actor probably
And-
at that time.
And he blamed his agent.
Oh, I bet he did.
He blamed his agent. That was a big mistake, and I blame my agent. Okay.
All right. Harrison Ford connection.
Okay.
All right. Harrison Ford. Do you know who was offered Indiana Jones first?
I do, but I forget now because I knew that, and I don't have it down here. I don't
know because this guy's so tall. I don't know how he works as Indiana Jones.
I got to figure out somebody who's tall. It wasn't Will Chamberlain.
No, that's way too tall.
Okay.
This guy's about 6'4".
Go ahead.
All right. Tom Selleck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who?
He had a contractual issue.
Oh, silly me, I have it there.
Oh, you have it written down.
I do.
He had a contractual issue with Magnum PI.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So, were you a Magnum fan?
Absolutely.
I love.
You know what?
Favorite Magnum episode? Go.
I like some of the later ones where they brought all the story together with his wife from Vietnam and, the bad guys.
There's only one right answer. I'm sorry, Lenny.
All right.
Ivan.
Okay.
Did you see the sunrise?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the Magnum PI. And if you don't know that, I'm sorry. I can't talk you through the entire thing in this short a time.
Right.
It was actually a 2-hour episode, but it would take me 4 hours to explain it.
But hey,
But that's when they were tying it all up. I mean, 'cause
Yeah.
they went back and they after a couple of seasons, they went and did that whole backstory in Vietnam.
Of his friendship.
Right, his wife, and I think her name
yeah.
was Michelle, was the character, and she was Vietnamese, and and then you have the whole thing about their rings. Yeah,
And the other episode is when he fell off the surf ski, and he had to tread water for like
ever
2 days.
yeah.
So yeah, Blake.
but also, nuns don't work Sundays.
Nuns don't work Sundays.
Do you not remember this moment? So basically, so Magnum was investigating the scene. He saw this nun up on a ladder. Then realized, oh wait, nuns don't work Sunday. The nun had a gun, and then
Okay. You gotcha. All right, so we got to talk about our sponsors. First one, going in reverse order, Coquina Coast Realty. Give me a call at 904-669-7901. Next is Kaiser's Deli and Market. If you have not been to Kaiser's, where have you been? You need to get over there for lunch tomorrow. Amazing. Try the bollocks. It is I'm telling you right now, not just because we're named, it's one of my favorite sandwiches, if not my favorite sandwich in town. And get over there. They have an amazing market for local vendors. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. They also do the Colonial Oak. They do Bull and Crown. They do the Taverna Bar. This group is amazing. I'm so happy they're one of our partners. Cindy and the entire crowd over there, you're awesome. All right, Aver Kresge and Associates. Not your best week in trivia this week, but you are the best when it comes to being.
I feel your pain, unicorns.
Yeah, you are the best CPA in town, and we appreciate and love you. All right, Meehan's, this group right here. Let me tell you, this entire staff over there are awesome. Great food, great people, great view. Amazing selections on beer, wine, and whiskeys. Not enough can be said.
And they have a bighorn sheep in a phone booth.
They have a bighorn sheep in a phone booth. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It may or may not be associated with Teddy Roosevelt. We don't know.
I'm sticking with that story.
We don't know,
I'm
but
sticking with that story.
it could be true from a ghost story teller. It might be.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Believe me, I don't make up nearly most of my stories.
Speaking of spirits, we have Citygate Spirits and St. Augustine
Tasty,
Distillery.
tasty.
Tonight's drink, Lenny, I got to give you a thumbs up.
Thank you,
2
brother.
thumbs up, way up on the drink tonight. They just crushed it. We're drinking the peach whiskey out of Citygate, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is probably the most refreshing drink we've had on Bollocks.
That's good.
All right. All right. Where you got over there? What have we not touched on since
Well, we haven't done too many women.
I've interrupted No, we haven't done women
Okay.
really at all, and I only have a couple of them over here.
Well, I got a wacky one.
Because I got into that whole circle of this one led to that one, and that's
Right.
how I stuck on the men's side. So
That's fine.
All right,
Well, I'll give
wacky
you
one.
a quick one.
Is it wacky or quick?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my favorite TV shows of all time was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, it started getting weird when they got to Angel and everything else, but it was
Never
great.
seen an episode.
Oh my goodness! And they did musicals. I mean, it's Joss Whedon, and it was so clever and so creative. And they weaved things in, and they were progressive with their characters. They were progressive with their characters' sexualities. It was wonderful, and it was Sarah Michelle Gellar played Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but the role was offered to Katie Holmes first.
Okay.
She turned it down. She wanted to finish high school.
Oh.
So she didn't take
Good
the
reason.
role.
Good reason.
She turned it down. She wanted to finish high school.
All right.
But if you haven't seen it, it's out on video. It's in syndication. It's streaming everywhere. It's a great show.
I've not
Sunnydale,
seen
the Hellmouth.
I've not seen one episode.
It's
of
so
it.
clever in
Like,
so
have
many
you
ways.
seen any episodes of Buffy?
No.
Okay.
and
No.
it's
no
very
from him
different
either.
from the movie where Mrs. Travolta played the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the movie. That was Kelly Preston.
Okay, Mrs. Travolta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't she John Travolta's wife?
Yeah. Are they still together? I think they broke up.
I'm not sure that she didn't pass away.
His son passed away.
Jet. Yeah, that I know. I'm not. You know what? That's why. You know, I can
Blake,
never.
find out if Kelly Preston's alive.
I can never do a Deadpool. You know those
Yeah.
people do a Deadpool every year?
Yeah.
I go with the Pope and then I'm done because I never remember who's alive or who's dead. I can't ever remember.
I
know?
when I ask that in trivia, it really gets a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's-
She unfortunately died in 2020.
I thought so.
2020.
I thought. See, I'm better at this than I thought.
Yeah, good job.
Okay.
See, I would have had her alive
See, all right. And
because
then,
wasn't she in Maverick? Is that Kelly Preston?
yes.
Okay. Or she was in Top Gun, not Maverick.
Well, yeah. Same idea though.
Uh-huh.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer,
Yeah.
always reclining on a
Pfeffer?
Pfeiffer, right?
Pfeffer? Pfeffer.
Reclining on a piano in the Fabulous Baker Boys, was offered the role of Clarice Starling.
Oh. Actually, I
And-
can see that one.
Yeah, well, she couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, she thought the movie was way too violent, and she wanted nothing to do with it. And she didn't take the role, but there was a problem because the director thought Jodie Foster's Boston accent was terrible. So that was a problem. Yeah, and it slowed her down just long enough so that she won Best Actress.
Yeah.
So, you know, that wasn't a big problem. And she was also, Michelle Pfeiffer also was offered the role to play, if you remember in Pretty Woman, there was the friend role
Yeah.
that went to Laura San Laura San Giacomo, thank you. And she didn't want it, and she didn't want anything to do with Pretty Woman.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
I can't say it 1 time fast. And she might have been offered the Julia Roberts role, but she found the movie was too demeaning, so she wouldn't take that role.
Julia Roberts role.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll do that connection. The first person that was offered Julia Roberts' role. Do you know who it was?
In Pretty Woman.
In Pretty Woman.
I do not.
This person I cannot see playing this role. All right, Molly Ringwald.
Yeah.
I can't see it.
There's no hooker with a heart of gold in her.
No. Well, she didn't want to play a hooker.
Oh, well, and Michelle Pfeiffer thought it was demeaning to play that role.
And speaking of hookers, Angela Bassett. Am I saying that right?
Jacqueline Bassett? Oh, Angela Bassett.
Bassett. Angela
yeah,
Bassett.
yeah.
Angela Bassett turned down Monsters Ball.
Really?
And that's the one that won an Academy Award
Made
for
Halle Berry.
because she didn't
Absolutely.
want to play. She didn't want to play. She thought it was too stereotypical for a single black mom.
It was also quite a racy movie.
It was
believe me.
very racy,
Very, you know.
but she turned down that role, which ended up winning an Academy Award for Halle Berry.
Ooh, yeah.
And that scene, whew,
Yes. Yeah. With Billy Bob, I'm Crazy Thornton.
yeah. So, all right, what other ladies you have there?
That was it. Demi Moore. Demi Moore turned down the Kit DeLuca role that went to Laura San Giacomo. That was it. Michelle
I can
Pfeiffer
see that
turned
one, too.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer turned down the Julia Roberts role, and Demi Moore turned down the thing. But now, coming back to the land of connections,
Okay,
Bruce Willis.
okay,
Where's my Brucey boy?
Brucey,
Come here, Bruce. I know you're here somewhere. I got you over here. Bruce Willis was
John McClane. All right, when you think of Bruce Willis, who do you think of? I think of Blue Moon Investigative,
always great.
and I
Moonlighting.
think of John McClane.
Okay.
Yippee ki Those are my Bruce.
MF,
Yeah.
Yeah. He was offered the role, the Patrick Swayze role in Ghost.
That way he would have played. I did read that one.
Right.
Him and Demi would have played together.
Right. And he said, the guy's dead. How can he have any romance? And he didn't take the role. So that was that. But then I got another connection here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. They just got to figure out who I am and why I'm here.
Yeah.
It was there you go. Where is it? It's back over here. Oh, okay. Yeah. The guy's dead. Yeah, that's over there. I have that there. Nope. But I got... Can we connect that to something else? I don't think so. But Michael Keaton turned down the Bill Murray role in Groundhog Day.
Oh.
I could see him...
I didn't do Bill Murray. I should have done Bill Murray.
And
Bill
I could
Murray's
see him.
one of my favorite guys.
Bill Murray and Woody Harrelson are two actors that I think when people look at their body of work, they're just going to sit there and go, no shit. I mean, Bill Murray, from Meatballs all the way up to everything. But The Razor's Edge, The Monument, I mean, he started getting, lost in translation.
What movie are they in together?
Who's that? Bruce,
you said two of your favorite actors. Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson and, Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, a classic.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Snubbed at the Academy Awards.
Oh, often. Yeah.
I don't really get it.
Yep, yeah.
So,
and I think when you look at their
what was
body
Harrelson's name?
Woody Harrelson? Oh, in that, was it Dakota? Or was one of the girls Dakota?
I think one of the
Tennessee?
girls.
Tennessee.
Tallahassee?
There you go. It was something like that.
If you would look up Woody Harrelson's name in Zombieland,
Might have been. I think it might have been Tallahassee.
They all went by like the cities they were from. So,
yeah. I think it was a Dakota.
City or state
I think
that they were
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
Was it Tallahassee? I thought it was Tallahassee.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, see, a Florida man gets
naturally.
that.
Yeah. But you look at the stuff that Woody Harrelson has done, and he's done a bunch of goofy stuff. He's done some not even counting True Detective and things, but he did one called Palmetto, which was a film noir that was great. I mean, it's not winning any awards, but it's just a good. It's like a poor man's Body Heat. He's set up by the woman type of thing, and he fell for it frickin' hook, line, and sinker, and. Bill Murray, he started out with Meatballs and Stripes and all that stuff. And then he gets into, Somerset Maugham when he's doing The Razor's Edge and Lost in Translation.
I got to give a shout out to Davey because Davey popped in right as we're talking about Bruce Willis, and he says his mom dated Bruce Willis.
Wow.
So
impressive.
In high school.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's an impressive fun fact. He said fact checking. But it's an impressive fun fact from Davey. So
hi, Barbara.
Yeah.
How you been?
All right, White Man Can't Jump. Do you have any other ones that are out there? Let me look over at your list, see what I can see.
Okay.
James Caan.
Yeah.
All right, James Caan, didn't he play in Misery?
Yeah.
I think De Niro was offered that role.
Okay.
So I think De Niro was offered that role. Did you read the book Misery?
No.
All right.
No. I don't read a lot of Stephen King.
In the book Misery. All right, in the movie, did you see the movie Misery?
No.
Okay, then
I know of it.
This is completely lost on you
because I think Kathy Bates is just a phenomenal
she's an
talent.
amazing actress,
and now she's Matlock.
Yeah, an amazing actress.
Yes.
But in the movie, she takes a board, sticks it between James Caan's legs, and hits it with a sledgehammer and breaks both his legs. Like hits each one of them, breaks so he can't run, he can't walk.
Right, he's stuck.
All right. In the book, she saws off his legs.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I think it was too gruesome to put in that style of movie without it being a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because it was scary, but it wasn't gory. Right. But that in the book, when I was watching the movie, I was like, I wonder how they were going to do this. And they didn't do it at all. So, you say you don't read a whole lot. Is there a book that you've read?
No, I don't read a lot of Stephen King.
Oh, okay. Is there a book that you've read that you went, man, they really missed it?
What, as far as turning into a movie?
In the movie.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I can tell you one of the favorite books that I did read was Ken Kesey's One Threw Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
Which brings us back to James Caan, who turned down the role of R.P. McMurphy
Oh wow.
because he couldn't get past the fact that it was in a four-wall setting, and he just didn't like that or understand that, and he didn't realize how good a director Milos Forman was, and he's regretted it to this day.
Mistake.
Yep, he's regretted it.
Possibly
to this
one
day.
of the greatest movies of all time.
One of my favorites. It's just I mean, first of all,
The character,
it's
of Danny DeVito
yeah,
in that movie is so underrated, in my opinion. It doesn't get a whole lot of talk because the main characters overwhelmed it, and Chief overwhelmed it too.
right.
If you go back and watch Danny DeVito and his performance in that movie, it's incredible. So, before he became Louis De Palma.
Right. Yep. Davey's saying Dolores Claiborne as well as another movie we should go see.
Yeah. So excellent.
Yeah, I got a long list, Davey, man. I just told you, I finally just saw Shawshank Redemption. I'll fess up, I haven't seen The Green Mile yet, man.
You haven't seen The Green Mile?
No.
Oh my gosh, boss.
I haven't seen it either.
You haven't seen it either.
Blake, you and I are going to get a big bag of popcorn. One of those ones that you see in Winn-Dixie that's as big as you are. You know, it's like a person-sized pillow of popcorn, and we're just going to have a movie night.
Davey, you got to put The Green Mile on the list in case. I bet Mike Davis hasn't seen The Green Mile.
Really? All right, we have a movie party.
So I can tell you, it is. Tom Hanks is great in it. Michael whatever his three
Michael Duncan Clark.
Yeah, I don't think he's with us anymore. I think he's passed. So
Yeah.
it's another one of those dead or alive.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't do those pools, man.
But just phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
So Green Mile. So
I'll get to him eventually. You know, I got nothing but time on my hands.
all right, let me look at your list over here.
Okay.
Give me three to choose from. You got
Well, let's see. Who do we got left here? We got Will Smith, Hugh Jackman, and
I have nothing on Hugh Jackman, so I'd like to go to Hugh Jackman.
Okay. Hugh Jackman turned down the role of James Bond in Casino Royale, obviously the remake, not the original one.
See, the original one was a spoof more than it was.
Yes,
it was
with David
probably
Niven, yeah.
It was probably the worst of all
Right.
ones that are attached to James Bond.
Right.
And I'm not a who was the guy who was in Mrs. Doubtfire? The worst
Robin Williams.
The worst the world's worst James Bond ever.
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, he weighs 106 pounds.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'll keep Pierce Brosnan, and I'll tell you Timothy Dalton was not any good.
Timothy Dalton kicks Pierce Brosnan's ass
Really?
every single day. James Bond has to be somewhat tough.
Yeah.
All right. Anytime I'm 5'8", maybe 5'7" now. I was once 5'8". Now I weigh more than I did then. I'm between 150 and 170 pounds. If I can kick your ass, you should not be Reacher,
Right.
and you should not be James Bond. These are guys that should kick you and my ass every single time.
That's not
I
hard to
am
do.
95% sure. All right, there's 5% because I could get winded. If I don't take him out in the first 30 seconds, I'm probably going to lose the fight. All right, I think I can take him out in the first 30 seconds. All right, I'm pretty sure I can choke him out that quick. I am 95% sure I kick Pierce Brosnan's ass every single. And I can't believe him as James Bond.
I liked his wit. Timothy Dalton.
Oh, he's a good actor.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton didn't have the humorous aspect of it.
And I liked him.
it was look, nobody was more fun than Roger Moore playing that role. I mean, he did tongue in cheek and then did, he was just suave and
Who is your James Bond?
I got to go with Sean Connery, though.
I'm a Connery guy, too.
Yeah, you have to.
Roger Moore's next on my list. I mean, I'm
And I
Connery
got,
to Roger
Daniel
Moore.
Craig is not bad, but Daniel Craig is dark. He's very, very dark.
Yeah.
I mean, he had more of his girlfriends get killed than anybody.
I think I've only seen one of Daniel Craig's
they're good.
Bond movies.
Just
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
I think that's the only
but
one
the
I've
cold
seen.
open on the last two or three are just outstanding. There's just it's those single cameras where he goes running through roofs and entire towns, and they follow it. It's similar to the
But I
opening
can
scene.
I can see Jackman as James Bond.
Right, absolutely. But he's afraid to be typecast.
I can still see him being James Bond.
He's also a brilliant, talk about a thespian. I mean, the guy can sing, the guy can dance, the guy can act. He's fabulous.
Hugh Jackman is your favorite movie of Hugh Jackman?
I'm going to go something different. My favorite movie of Hugh Jackman, you know what? I like the P.T. Barnum movie, The Greatest Showman.
That's mine too.
Yeah.
That's mine too.
I mean, and
I thought that was a great.
And if you want to see something,
I'm not a huge musical guy.
Yeah,
but I think to me that's my favorite, and I love Wolverine.
Yeah,
I think that character is amazing. But I got to go with.
See, I'm with you,
Greatest
Davey.
Showman.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
But there's the showstopper song in that movie. I want to say her name is Keely Hazel, but I'm not sure about that. Where she, I Am What I Am. No, that's from La Cage aux Folles, but it's similar to that, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. It'll come to me, or Davey will help me out with that one. And it's just that powerhouse showstopper song that she does in the middle of that, where they all come marching out, and it's just defiant. YouTube that song, and it's in the rehearsal when they're in the third floor of a building on Broadway, and they're doing the run through for that, and Hugh Jackman's sitting there, and there's the producers, and there's the directors, and then there's a whole bunch of people there, and she starts singing that song, and
This Is Me is what.
Thank you.
That's what Heather and Davey are both saying.
That's it, exactly. So you got to YouTube that in rehearsal. And she comes out, and she's timid to start the song, and by the end of it, she is belting this out. She creates her identity. She owns the song. She owns the rehearsal room. And you got Hugh Jackman sitting there, and he's not in this. He's just watching this on the other side of the table, and he's eating it out, and he just gets enrolled in this thing, and they're just going nuts. And it is, I mean, I have it on my YouTube thing, and I watch it, frequently, because it's just so engrossing. She's so fabulous. It's just, it literally, it's the definition of a showstopper.
All right. Best female actress for you. Or who's your favorite? Not necessarily the best.
Okay.
Who's your favorite? Like, if they're on, you're like, I'm watching this.
Meryl Streep comes and goes.
I think she could be the best
by far,
but she's not the one that makes me.
Yeah, she doesn't. Right, I'm not necessarily watching that
because I can tell you my get out of jail, and I don't know if I've told Rebecca this, but she's going to have to take it. Is Sandra Bullock.
Okay.
I don't think Sandra's calling me.
Right.
But Sandra Bullock is my person. Now there are two really strange ones that she turned down. All right. The strangest one ended up going to Keanu Reeves. She turned down the role of Neo.
So did Will Smith.
Yeah.
So did Will Smith. He didn't understand it at all.
No.
And I'm with him on that one.
Yeah, and I think Sandra is more of, again, a lot of people try and stay away from the sci-fi, but I can't remember. She ended up doing Gravity and did very well in that. But she turned down Neo. And the other one, which I think she would have been great in, and I can't remember, Hilary Duff ended up winning an Academy Award.
Which is what, the boxing one?
$1 Million Baby.
Yep.
With it was a Clint Eastwood movie, so I think he was he was the director of that.
Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing movie, and I could see her being that role, but Hilary Duff right now to me, because she just crushed it, was the right person for the role. So I filled in the space for you to give me your favorite woman.
Yeah, I'm hard to pick favorites. I'm really too more
favorite woman over there that you have written down that went to a very obscure, or that you thought would be weird or obscure. We have exactly 38 seconds.
Okay,
no pressure.
I got a kick out of the Katie Holmes turning down Buffy so she could finish high school.
Yeah,
I applaud the educational decision she made.
Yeah.
So I'm giving her a lot of credit for that. I think Jodie Foster is very, very talented. Mm-hmm. She's really, she can be a huge chameleon.
Who was offered The Accused before Jodie Foster got it? I can't remember what it was. You guys can do that homework at home. But we're at the end. Do you have any that you didn't get out that you wanted to?
No, I think we covered pretty much. Mel Gibson turned down Maximus in Gladiator because he thought he was too old. Mm-hmm. But I think we covered most of my list here.
Yeah.
Sean Connery was just, didn't turn down Gandalf. Sean Connery turned down Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. He didn't understand the script. He didn't understand the story.
Nicolas Cage turned down something in Lord of the Rings also. Viggo
Mortensen. Who was that? That was I don't know, because I'm not a big Tolkien fan either. And Sean Connery said, I don't think
I said Hillary. I said Hillary. I meant Hillary Swank.
Okay.
I had her face, and you didn't correct me, but thank you, Heather. You're 100% correct. And Davey, thank you for that. Yeah. But that's the end of our show. This show could have went on for a long time.
Still the other page, right?
We might have to have a part 2 of this. Thank you guys that participate. If you have anything out there, make sure you're sharing with your friends. We appreciate you guys. This is Bollocks, Talks, and Tangents, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.